the word interest means that an amount you gain on something, right? So let's say this marker here, you want to sell it, maybe let's say on $5, right? So now you bought this marker at what, $4. So meaning that if you are subtracting two, you are going to have $1 as what, your profit. Is that okay? So this one is what we call a profit. Now, the interest, talking about the interest here, or maybe this can be your interest of something that you get on what, this amount here. Now, specifically talking about the interest of something, it can be the other way around. You gain or you run your own business, or maybe doing something that you have the money here straightforward, or you are borrowing, right? So borrowing an amount or what at a bank, right? Specifically, say at a bank or maybe any credit union, right? You want to borrow for a business or any other stuff. Is that okay? Now, if you are borrowing an amount from a bank here, the bank is going to put an interest on what any amount that you are taking. So, assuming you want to take a $500 here, in this case, the bank can decide that it's a policy, right? So the bank can say that at the end of the day, you are going to pay an interest of, let's say, what, $5, right? So an amount of $5 on this $500 that you are taking. So the interest can be the other way around. So maybe, or it can be that you are also giving the money to your friend or something of that nature. You want to borrow your money out, and then you are putting an interest of on that amount. Now, in mathematics, you have a lay down procedure that helps us to determine the simple interest, right? So this is very simple, simple interest on anything that you want to take. So this is one thing that you have to pay a close attention. We are going to solve a pure exams question, so make sure that you stay here to the end of the video. Now, here's the lay down procedure for you to calculate the simple interest, right? So we are going to use that I to represent that. One, you need a principal, and I was playing this in just a few seconds here, and then multiply by the time, right? So I multiply by the time, and then finally we multiply by the rate, right? So everything divided by 100, right? So this is the lay down procedure you must follow. Understand that for you to calculate what simple interest on any amount being given to you. This is what it means. Now, here, the principal here, assuming, so let's limit our example to you want to borrow an amount at a bank. So here specifically, we are taking a $500 from this bank, right? So suppose we don't know the interest yet. It's okay, we don't know the interest yet. So we want to borrow $500 here. Now, before you can borrow this amount of money, you have to have a certain money down, right? So money down here, right? So that is what we are calling the principal. So maybe by according to the policy, you should have at least, let's say, $100 down, right? So $100 down here at the bank before you can take this $500. Okay, so this money that you are saving at the bank or you should have at the bank here is what we are calling the principal, right? So the money down at the bank, the money deposited at the bank is what we are calling what, the principal. Now the time here is always measured what, in years, right? So the time here is always measured in years. So here, let's say you want to take this thing, that's going to take, let's say, 2 years or 3 years, and so on and so forth, right? It can be a month, so but normally we always convert that to a years, and then the rate is the percentage that the bank is putting on the amount that you are taking. Right, so these are the three concepts that you must understand. Once you are able to grab this definition here, you should be able to solve almost all the questions on that simple interest. Now let's have a look at questions. Now the question says that the sum of money, right, on which a simple interest for 8 years at what, right, we are having simple interest at what, 8 years here. The sum of money, we don't know the money, right? So the sum of the money on which a simple interest for 8 years at what, 4.5. So 4.5, right? 4.5 percentage per annum, right? So per annum. So pay close attention to the word here. So per annum meaning that per year, right? So per annum is, so this is the amount. So let's say we have a dollar to be $360,000, right? So this is the money. So the simple interest, the simple, or find the sum of the money on which a simple interest for 8 years is 4.2% per annum. That is the amount that we are having what at the end here. Now, what are we asking is, so we want to find that sum of the money, right? So we want to find the sum of the money on which these informations are given, right? So this one here is going to be, you should be able to figure out all the information so being given to you. So this guy here is going to be our simple interest, right? So this is what we call the simple interest here, and then here's the rate, right? So this is going to be the rate. And what about this one? So this is the time, right? So you have all these guys available. So who is missing here, right? So of course, this is the principal. So remember I said that the principal is the money that you deposited down. Since we have all this information here, we are free to go. You just need to plug into this definition and calculate the values of what the principal. So there are two ways of solving this thing. What I mean by the two is that since you have this definition down, so this means that the simple interest is equal to the principal multiplied by the time, then multiplied by the rate, everything divided by what? 100, right? Someone can choose to find the principal from this simple equation here, right? It's accepted, right? Is that okay? So this guy is going to be 100, you multiply both sides by 100, right? So they will cancel out. So here we are having what? P, that's the T, R, A. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are looking for the principal, so we are going to divide here by TR and then divide here by the TR, right? So here in this one cancel out. So we have our P here, which is the principal, that is equal to 100 multiplied by the interest here, and then everything divided by the time and the rate, right? Okay, very simple. Or maybe the other one is what you can easily plug the definition here straightforward and do your calculation. Whichever way you want to go is also accepted. Now maybe I think this will be something simple, right? So once you see this thing, we are going to plug the interest here, the time and the rate into this definition. Okay, so now we have the principal to be equal to the interest here, right? Which is the I, and that is an amount of $360,000, and then multiply by 100, right? So there's 10 here, multiply by 100, everything divided by the time, which is what the 8 is, multiplied by the rate. Remember, the rate here is at 4.5, right? So don't add that 100 to that, so 4.5. Is that okay? And then do this calculation. Whatever you are going to get here is going to be your principal, right? So that is the money you deposited. You should have at the bank before the bank can give you any amount that they want to give you. So this one is just the interest on that, right? Okay. Now let me hear your answer to this value in the comment section below. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like that. Anything that you want to see, let's hear from you in the comment section. This question also says that a simple interest on what this amount, an amount of, let's say this amount, right? So 4,000, maybe $45,000, right? So $45,000 for 4 years, right? So for 4 years, so for 4 years here is 4,000, right? So 4,500, and then we want to find the rate, right? So that is the question that we are giving. So we want to find the rate. Is that okay? So we are giving these informations that a simple interest is 45,000 for 4 years, is 4,500. So this is an amount of 4,500. Is that okay? So you want to calculate the rate. You see, don't bother yourself and do anything. All that you have to know now, you have to master this definition. The key here is just to plug in and do the algebra. Is that okay? So once again, from the previous example, we know that we calculated for the what? The rate. Is that okay? So maybe here I can choose to plug in straight for it since I have all the information here. So now I have this guy to be my simple interest here. I have the time here, right? So that is the time for 4 years. And then what about this here, right? Now you have to pay close attention to the question. The question says that a simple interest on, so this guy here is going to be what our principal, right? So don't make sure that you are not doing that mistake here. So make sure that you digest what the information given to you before you proceed, right? Okay, now you have this guy here, the simple interest on this amount, right? So $45,000 for 4 years is what is this? So this guy is going to be our simple interest. Is that okay? So now the rate is missing. So if I want to plug in, you can choose the way I solve the first part of the question here. So but here, maybe someone can also go for here's the I, right? So the I is that's the 4,500 here. That is equal to the principal, right? So what will be the principal? This guy here, that is $45,000. And then maybe in your currency, right? To whichever currency that we are dealing with, and then multiply by the time. The time here is 4 years, and then multiply by the rate, which we don't know, of course. So everything is going to be divided by 100, right? So what are you going to do? You proceed from here. So you multiply both sides by what? Here is going to be 5,500, right? So here is 4,500, right? So 4,500, then multiply by 100, and then that is equal to $45,000 here, and then multiply by 4, and then multiply by the rate here. So right, so this one they cancel out. So, okay, so the same procedure as we did in the previous example. So you multiply this guy by this, that is going to be 450,000, right? And then here is also going to be, you expand this, and then when you are done, you divide everything by the area. So you should have you divide everything by the answer that. So let's solve this, right? So let's solve this. So from here we have 4,000. That is 450,000, right? So 450,000, 450, and then 000, and then that is equal to 45000 multiplied by 4, and then multiplied by the area. Okay, so what are we looking for? We are looking for this area. So everything that is attached to the area has to vanish. So we are going to divide here by 400 multiplied by 4, and then divide here by 450 multiplied by 4, right? So that this one will cancel out this. Okay, so at the end we are having our R to be equal to 450, then 00, and then everything divided by 4500 multiplied by 4. Right? So what is the answer to this thing? So once again, let me hear your comments or in the comment section below.